Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me for another great spotlight session. Today, we're going to be talking all about follow-up and why it's important. Also, why most agents fail at follow-up. For most of you, if you don't know, you should know that your deals don't come from your initial contact. They never come from that first conversation. Your deal is going to come from the third, fourth, or fifth conversation. But the question is, how do you get to that third, fourth, or fifth conversation and stay top of mind with that person while they're waiting to figure out whatever it is that they want to do, right? So the only way to do that is to have a good follow-up plan. And having a good, oops, wrong button, having a good follow-up plan and a good system will be like the cornerstone of your business, because that's where everything is going to come from. Your follow-up, not your initial marketing, whatever you're doing in the beginning, it's going to come later on. So let me share my screen. You guys know I love my presentations, right? All right, let's make this full screen. Boom. Can you all see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And let's move this out of the way. Too much stuff going on. Okay, so this is what we're getting into. Number one, why follow-up matters in 2025. Not only in 2025, but follow-up has always mattered since real estate has been started, right? Because even back then, a lot of people were still on the fence of whether they wanted to buy, sell, or invest, right? So buyers and sellers are overwhelmed with options, right? Buyers are overwhelmed with the amount of, we can say overwhelmed with options when it comes to the amount of differences there are in the market, right? Whether you want to spend, over $600,000 for a fully furnished, fully done, everything, everything already done for you home, or you want to spend a little bit less and do some work for you. Sellers are overwhelmed with the pricing options, right? Because there is a lot going on. The market is shifting. Speed to lead is crucial, right? You have to be the first one to the punch, right? Leads are more expensive than ever. So don't waste them. So this isn't in reference to paying for leads. This is in reference to the time you spend on getting leads, right? That's expensive, right? Because we're spending all our time, we're doing all these different lead gen activities, and we have to get something out of it. So we can't waste the time that we have on just doing anything that's not working, so that we can get better leads. Trust is built through consistency. It absolutely is. Trust is built through you showing up for your clients, right? You showing up with, market reports, with, anything helpful they can have for their, home maintenance, having a vendor list that's available for them that, if they have any problems about septic or chimneys or solar or anything, you have a guy for that. And the agents who follow up win more clients. That is always true. The person who follows up the best and the most wins. So there are tons of situations and examples I can give you on how that's actually worked for me as well, which we will get into. So, why agents struggle with follow up? Well, number one is the lack of systems. Agents rely on memory or sticky notes, which is very true. I'm guilty of this as well, of, keeping all my clients in my mind, right? Keeping where they are, the steps they're in, where I am as far as my relationship with them, following up with them. It's all still in my mind until I put them in a smart plan. Or, I mean, even then, they're still in my mind, right? Because you still have to think about and keep constant communication with your clients, depending on where they are. The fear of rejection. Being ignored leads to hesitation. Agents fear rejection. It's why most agents don't cold call. Joel is actually pretty good at cold calling. He doesn't care about the rejections.
Love it.
But that's the good thing. That's that tough skin that you build, and not fear rejection. So being ignored leads to hesitation, right? So when you ignore your clients, or you have someone that you haven't spoken to in a while, you're hesitant to reconnect with them, right? Because you don't know what that conversation looks like. You don't have a script that says, hey, this is how I follow up with someone I haven't spoken to in 2 months, 3 months, 2 years, 10 years, 20 years, right? No clear plan, inconsistent communication timing, which is a big factor because it's when you're following up with your client that makes the difference, right? So if I have someone that's looking to sell their house in the next 60 days, I'm going to be talking to that person almost on an every other day basis, right? Or the next 30 days, I should say. Every day I'm talking to that person. We're getting the house ready, we're doing stuff, we're looking at the market, we're figuring something out, but I'm going to have constant contact with that person. Now, someone who's not ready to sell their house until next year, that's going to be on a bi-weekly, if not monthly basis, right? But I'm going to continue to follow up with that person as much as I can and be consistent in my communication. Overwhelmed by leads, no prioritization or tagging. So when you're getting your leads, what are you doing with them? Are you prioritizing them? Are you qualifying them? Are you saying to yourself, okay, well, this person's hot, this person's warm, this person's cold? Or are you just, every lead that just comes in is just, all going into the same folder? We have to prioritize and separate our leads so that we know who to work with right now, who to work with next month, and who to work with next year, right? Tech aversion, underutilizing available tools. I'm going to stop sharing real quick because I want to see some hands. Raise your hand if you are currently using smart plans for your whole database. Okay, right? So that's part of an issue, right? Your whole database should be on a smart plan. Thank you, Odile. Right. Your whole entire database, everyone that's in your contact list on command should be in some sort of smart plan, regardless of where they are in their real estate transaction, deal, mind, whatever. They should all be on something that's a drip campaign that's constantly giving them something to say, hey, I'm still here. Okay. Okay. That was real quick. Just wanted to make a note of that. So let's get back. So definitely use those smart plans. There's a smart plan called the Biweekly Neighborhood Nurture that sends market reports to your clients every other week, like neighborhood specific market reports, not just the MLS market reports. And that's specific. So you want to send stuff like that, okay? Because if you follow up, you stand out, okay? Now, building a follow up system. Use command to manage leads and contacts. That's why we have it. Command is your customer relationship manager. Okay, that's what it is. That's what it's called. That's what CRM stands for. That's what you're supposed to use it for. So when you're using command, every time you put a contact in, they should be tagged. You should have their address and you should have their email address, right? Should have these three things, right? Name, email address, phone number, absolutely, because you have to call and contact them. So those four key points of contact you should definitely have. But by putting them into command, you know, number one, where they are. You can track them better. You can add notes to each and every contact to say, okay, this person's ready to sell next month. This person's, looking to buy or whatever it is. You can do that. Oh, where'd she go? You can do all of that just right on command. So start to use it, start to learn it, and start to create with it. Create smart plans for automated outreach. I cannot stress that enough about smart plans. Smart plans are the thing that you can set and forget. Once you set it up, you can have it so that it just goes around unlimited amounts of times, right? Or you can make a smart plan long. I have a smart plan that's a year long, right? Every year it starts over. And it's filled with it's all holiday stuff. So on these specific holidays, they get this from me. Does that make sense? Right? So I don't have to worry about birthdays, Christmas, Valentine's Day, any of that stuff, because they're all set to specific dates that I don't have to worry about. Right? So that's just one thing automated outreach as far as smart plans go. Like I said, the neighborhood nurture is always another good one. An 8x8 contact, which is 8 weeks of touches, that's another good smart plan. They're all really, really good. They all have some form of follow up. You have to start somewhere. Okay. Tag and segment leads for personalized messages. The tagging of each lead that you get in command is important because you know who they are, right? I know if they're a seller. I know if they're a buyer. I know if they're an expired. I know if they're an absentee owner. I know if they're a for sale by owner. I know if they're an investor. I know exactly who they are, right? I know if they're single. I know if they have kids. I know if they have a family. I know all of that, right? That's all goes into your tagging. You want to be specific with your tags. It helps life so much easier when you just know who you're dealing with without actually, it's like creating think of it like creating files on your clients, right? That's what they are. That's what you're using them for. Organize your pipeline stages for clarity. This is another big one. So anytime you're working with a client, right? If I have a buyer, I'm going to create an opportunity right then and there, right? That opportunity is going to go into my pipeline. I can see there from that opportunity what my probable income could be, right? And also I can move them along to say, okay, I showed them properties. Now, well, I sent them properties. Now we're going on showings, right? So now I can move them over and say, okay, they're going from cultivate, from appointment schedule to now we're actually working together, right? Once we find a place, we go under contract, I can move them and say, okay, this one's under contract. Now, my other buyers that I have might still be looking. So they're in a different phase, right? But at least I have something that can visually show me where each stage of each contact I have we're in, right? It makes life so much easier in keeping track of each person that you're working with. It may seem like you don't need it right now because maybe you don't have that much business, but once you do, you're going to need it. You're going to need that clarity. You're going to need to be able to separate your clients, right? And know who is where. Because let's say for example, today, Joel just all of a sudden out of nowhere, a developer called him and said, I want you to list my entire neighborhood of 25 homes, right? Sounds good, right? Now,
Yes,
Joel
please.
would be responsible of keeping track of where each and every one of those properties are, as far as if they're under contract, if he's still doing showings for them, if he needs to do another open house, any price changes that need to be made. He's going to have a system that's going to allow him to track each and every phase for each and every one of those listings. Well, lucky for you, you have one. It's called Command. Okay. So it's going to help you organize everything you have going on from your clients to your business. So please do utilize it. Okay. Use reminders and tasks to stay on top of follow-ups. Absolutely. So your day, it should go along with your time block schedule where you should have time devoted to following up to your clients. I always say follow-up is best to do at the end of the day, depending on where your clients are. If they're really hot clients, of course, you're going to reach out to them mostly in the mornings. If they're warm clients, that's mostly later on. If they're cold clients, that's usually later on as well. But all your hot clients, you're usually typically going to speak to as soon as you wake up or, once you begin your day. Okay. But use reminders and tasks to stay on top of mind with those follow ups. So you know that today, okay, I need to text this person. I need to call this person, right? I need to stay top of mind because once you lose that top of mind with them and you don't have a contract signed, they're going to go work with someone who is. Okay. So don't lose your clients to someone else. I can say personally, I have quote unquote stolen clients from other other agents, not on purpose, right? But indirectly because that agent didn't follow up. Or I speak to someone, they say, "Oh, I haven't heard from my agent in a week or two." Oh, okay. Well, I'm here. I can help you with whatever you need. Sure. Okay. Awesome. And now they're working with me now. That's how it works. That's how it goes. So if I get to your client before you get to your client, they're my client. It's just how the name of the game works. Okay? Everyone cool with that? Well, not cool with that, but so use a proven touch plan. So start with an 8x8 plan, right? 8 touches in 8 weeks. This is simple, okay? It's a mix of emails, phone calls, text messages, and even video, okay? And you can also send market updates and valuable content. Okay. Follow up should feel personal, not scripted. It shouldn't feel robotic. It shouldn't feel like, oh, I need to go, oh, I have to talk to this person today. Or, you're sending them a robotic response. Your goal is to continue that relationship that you built with them already. That's the whole goal of this, is to continue it along until they're ready to use you. That's it. That's all you're doing. And track your results and tweak as needed. So track your results of your 8x8, right? What's getting the most what's getting the most views, right? What are people reacting to the most? Are they reacting mostly to your phone calls? Do they respond better to your text messages? Do they respond better to your emails? Do they like your video if you were to send one, right? Are the market reports you're sending, even if they're just for a town or for the county, are they, good enough for them? Or do you need to put them in a neighborhood nurture that's a little bit more specific to their neighborhood, right? Are your is your messages and things you're sending them more personalized, or are they just sounding like, hey, this is Jim Bob from 123 Realty, just checking in? That's it, right? You hear the dead silence after that, right? There's nothing. There's no personalization in that, as opposed to, hey, this is Lawrence with Keller Williams Cornerstone. Just checking in with you. How was your kid's birthday party the other day? You told me you were having. You did say you were getting your car service. If you need a good mechanic, I can always refer you to a nice one. And I'm looking forward to sending you out some more market reports and some more properties if you're still interested in looking at some. Just a quick message, right? People respond better to things that seem more personal to them because it sounds like you care and you're not just there for your own benefit. People want to know that you're there to genuinely help them, not just yourself. Okay. So start small with an 8x8 touch plan. Okay. So stay consistent. Consistency is the biggest, like most important part of this whole thing is the consistency. The minute that you do not follow up with your client, let's say you're supposed to follow up with someone today and you don't, and they don't hear from you, and you reach out to them tomorrow, their attitude is going to be completely different because they're expecting you to reach out to them today. If someone calls me every single Friday at 10 a.m. and today it's 10 a.m. and they don't call me, and it's 11, it's 12, it's 1, and the whole day goes by and I hear nothing, my attitude is going to be different next Friday when I speak to that person, right? As yours would be, right? So staying consistent is going to be your biggest thing to really stick with your follow up plan. So time block 30 to 60 minutes daily for follow up. Now, follow up is going to be you adding your people into command, putting them on the smart plans, sending out your texts, sending out your calls, your emails, whatever you're doing, but put time aside just specifically for your follow up. Set daily contact goals. Like today, I'm going to follow up with 10 of my clients. Today, I'm going to go into command. I'm going to retag 10 of my contacts. Today, I'm going to add 10 people into a smart plan, right? Set your goal so that okay, I followed up with everyone I was supposed to. Like you saw it, right? You see yourself that you did it, right? Now you can move on to something else, or you can follow up with even more people, or get back to lead generating, go on appointments, do showings, whatever it is else that you're doing. But you need to set a daily contact goal of how many people you're going to, number one, reach out to, and then how many people you're going to follow up with. Okay. Use accountability partners or team dashboards. So you have a dashboard on command that you can create and put tasks there that you can see every time that you log into, right? Also, you have plenty of accountability partners. Little do you know. I want all of you to look to the left and right of you on, on this screen and tell me how many accountability partners you have. Look down, look up, look around. How many do I see? I see a bunch, right? We're all accountability partners, right? We can all hold each other accountable. Jen, did you talk to 5 people today? It's very simple to do that, right? Alfredo, did you follow up with your client you told me you were going to talk to the other day? Right? We all talk to each other, right? We all hear a little bit about each other's businesses. We can hold each other accountable for what we're doing. Okay? So don't be afraid to remind someone of what they should be doing, right? Laurel's pretty new in this. We can do a lot of reminding for Laurel. Laurel, did you set up your smart plan yet? Hey, did you add 5 contacts into command yet? Right? We can start doing that with each other. That's the kind of team that we have here in our office. We're all accountable for each other, right? Because if you start slacking, what's the first thing I'm going to say to you? I see you slacking. And once I say it and everyone else hears me say it, oh, we got to get you on the ball, right? Then you have a whole group of people, right, on you trying to figure out what the best ways to help you get to where you need to be, right? So we're all accountable for each other here. Absolutely. And celebrate small wins to stay motivated. If I spoke to one person I meant to follow up with today, I'm going out for ice cream, right? Celebrate those small wins. I followed up with someone that I haven't spoken to in months, and I got them to want to work with me again. That's a win, right? Small win. I put 5 people into a smart plan today. That's a win, right? I added 5 people into my contact list on command. That's a win. Celebrate those small wins. Those are all really good things, right? Because you'll know when you're not winning anymore. You'll know what it feels like when you're losing. And you'll want that feeling to win again, right? You want to keep that feeling of winning. Winning feels great. Losing feels terrible. Nobody wants to lose. My son, my little one, is a sore loser. I don't know if he gets that from me. But he's a complete sore loser. He hates to lose. It's like the bane of all humanity if he loses at anything, right? So we celebrate his small wins, right? As much as we possibly can. And it can be the littlest, smallest thing. He put his plate in the sink yesterday and we clapped for him. About to blow out a candle for him and sing happy birthday. It's terrible. I know. But celebrate those small wins, right? And track your progress weekly and adjust as needed, right? Like I said, figure out what's working, figure out what's not working. Whatever's not working, get rid of it and change it to something else. And then enhance what is working, right? Okay. Bonus tips and tools. Use follow-up scripts tailored to lead type. So there are scripts. I believe I gave most of you a couple of script books. If you don't have one, reach out to me and I will send you a couple that have scripts that are tailored to whichever lead type that you're talking to. So if you're talking to an expired listing, there's an expired script that you should be using to talk to them, right? If you're if you're speaking to someone in your contacts, like on your phone, right? That you haven't called in forever. There's a script for that. There's also a formula to actually speak to that person. It's called the Ford model, which is family, occupation, recreation, dreams. So the way you would have your conversation is, hey Joel, how you doing today? Great, awesome, cool. Oh, how's the family doing? I know we haven't talked in a very long time, but how's everyone doing? Oh, everyone's doing great. Oh, awesome. Are you still working over there at the car dealership? Oh no, I don't work there anymore. Oh, okay, great. Oh, well, are you I saw that you and your family went on vacation recently. Yeah, how was that? Oh, that was great. That was cool. Okay, are you have any big plans for the rest of this year? You looking to, buy a new car or potentially buy a home or anything like that? Oh, we are actually looking to buy a home. Okay, awesome. That's it. Very simple. Now, during that conversation, they're also going to ask you what? The same questions. Well, how's your family? How's your job going? Did you go on vacation this year? What are your dreams? Uh-huh. Thanks, Jackie. And they're going to ask you all those different things the same way you ask them, and that's what you want, right? Automate with KW smart plans. And we cannot stress smart plans enough. Now, if you need help setting up a smart plan, feel free to reach out to me. I will help you do so. It's actually pretty simple. I will tell you it only takes 2 steps. Number one, build out all your designs, basically all your emails that you're gonna use in your smart plan. Build those all first through your designs. Then you're gonna go into smart plans, do a drag and drop, drop them over, add your days in between time because you don't want to send an email every single day and spam someone. So once you have that set up, then you can add tasks to it, and then you're good to go. And then you never have to touch it again. All you're going to do is add a trigger tag. So every time you add a contact into command, it's going to trigger this smart plan and they automatically get started on it. You don't have to do anything. Use the automation. It's there for you. Okay. And then segment leads by timeline and motivation. If someone's ready to buy right now, right? We're talking today, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, every day, right? I'm talking to them every day if they're ready to buy right now. If they're not ready to buy for the next 6 months, I'm going to talk to them at least once a week, right? If they're not ready to buy until they have no idea, but sometime next year, I'm probably going to talk to them once a month, right? But you have to know where they are. You have to ask that question. Hey, well, how likely are you to want to buy or sell right now? How likely are you to sell your house right now? How likely are you to invest in a property right now? And they'll tell you, oh, well, not right now, but maybe next month, maybe next year, maybe 2, 3 years from now. Or you'll get, oh, I'm working on my credit right now. So that's going to take some time. So whatever it is, you should know what that timeline looks like. Also, what their motivation is another big key as well. So if someone tells me that, hey, I'm looking to sell my house in the next, 6 to 8 months because I have to, my job is moving. So I have to relocate, right? In the meantime, I'm going to be helping that person with everything they have going on. Relocating isn't easy for any person, right? Especially if they're single or if they have a family, it's even more stressful, right? So either way, I'm going to be in that person's life for the next 6 to 8 months while we figure it out, right? We're going to be going through market reports. We're going to be talking about what's happening in the market, how the shifts happen through the seasons, all that good stuff, right? And then use reminders to re-engage cold leads, right? So if I don't talk to my lead today, I'm going to call them on Monday and say, hey, I got really busy on Friday. My apologies, but I did still want to reach out and speak to you and let you know I'm still here if you need anything. It's simple, right? But then you also want to have your daily reminders, right? Every day you should know who you're following up with. What person needs you today? You should have that all put together in front of you. You need to have a system, okay? Track responses to improve messaging. Now, when you're dealing with follow up, you're going to get a lot of messages. Like right now, I have about, let me see, I have altogether, because I pin my text messages for the clients I'm working with, right? So when I go on my pin, I have, well, it's almost, well, I have a few more. So I have 12 clients I'm working with right now, all together, right? And they're all in different stages and they're all different. Some selling, some buying, some sell by, right? They're all in different stages. But I have them where I can see each and every last one of them every day because I talk to each and every last one of them every single day, right? So not only do I have them in my texts, I also have them all on smart plans as well. And they're also on neighborhood nurtures as well. And I also send them, I'm sending them properties for the ones that are looking to buy, obviously. And I'm also sending them market reports for their specific neighborhoods because they're looking to sell as well. So it's a lot going on, but I'm tracking my responses to every single person that I talk to. I know where every last person is in their stages. Now, I'm not using command the way I should be as well because I should technically have them all in my pipeline, which they are, but I'm not moving them along. So again, it's going back to it's staying in my brain and it's not helping, right? Because then you're going through a lot of different things, right? Tracking 12 people at one time is a lot and it can be very overwhelming. So you want to try to make it as small for yourself as possible, okay? For me, my brain it never shuts off, so it's always a constant go. I don't even sleep well at night because I have an overactive brain, but I digress. But you want to track your responses to improve your messaging and what you're actually sending everyone. Okay. So this is a lead follow up funnel. This is what it should look like. Okay. A lead comes in, you should immediately tag and segment them. You should assign them to a smart plan, add them to your pipeline, and then consistently follow up with them. By consistently following up with them, you will then convert them into a lead, well, into a client, I should say, right? And that's any person that you speak to, right? This is the flow. This is how it works for every person. If someone told me right now they wanted to sell their house, I'm going to do the same exact thing, right? Number one, I need to know who they are. I need to make sure that I have them somewhere in my contacts because I have to do an opportunity anyway, right? Number two, I want to keep contact with that person because what's going to happen when they have, a family member that's also looking to sell or buy, or, a friend or a neighbor that saw my sign there that now wants to do something, right? So I need to keep all my contacts so that I can contact them later on and still follow up with them to say, hey, hey, I sold your house last year. How's everything going with the new house? Right? Something like that. And then see that, hey, did you, do you know anybody currently looking to buy, sell, or invest? Oh yeah, actually my sister is looking to sell her house because she saw how much I sold mine for, so now she's interested. Boom, right? So just because you have a closing with your client doesn't mean it's all over, right? Doesn't mean now all of a sudden you just never talk to that person ever again. You should still have some type of follow up with that person after you get a closing, okay? Because that leads to more deals. Cool. So challenge and close. So take action today, right? Pick 5 leads you've spoken to in the last 30 days, follow up with them, call, text, or email. Okay. Log every contact attempt into Command. Use tags and notes to personalize future follow ups. In Command, you're able to put notes on each and every contact that you have. Okay. You can just go to notes. You can type an update. Okay, update is going to date it for you and everything. So I can say update. I spoke to John Smith today at 11 o'clock. We had a great conversation. He's looking to sell his house in the next 6 months, right? The next time I do an update, right? I'm going to wait a couple of weeks. So it's 6 months, right? Wait a couple of weeks, whatever. Uh, 4 weeks, a month later or 3 weeks later. Oh, I spoke to John Smith today. We had another great conversation. He's still thinking about selling and yada, yada, yada. Right. But whatever it is, you should have something and a system that is just there for you. Right. And like I keep saying, repeat this daily. Consistency is key. Okay. I need you all to unmute right now and say it with me. Let's all say it together. Consistency
Consistency.
is
Is
key.
is key.
Is
Consistency.
key.
Consistency.
I
The key.
love how all on key we are. Consistency is the key to this, okay? It's the key to real estate. It's the key to follow up. It's the key to everything that you want to do. You have to be consistent, okay? So build the habit of reaching out daily to move your pipeline forward. That should be a habit, okay? Cool. So now your lead follow-up checklist, okay? Add new leads to CRM before 6 p.m. Ask me why 6 p.m.
Why 6 p.m.?
6 p.m. because do you want to send someone an email at 7, 8 o'clock while they're having dinner? If I'm adding you to a smart plan, right? I'm going to send it at 6 o'clock or before because that's end of day, right? Anything before 6 o'clock, you're still good. Anything after 6, you're getting a little bit dicey because most people are home relaxing, trying to get their lives together. Most
Quick
people are
question,
still on their way home
Lawrence.
from work at 6 p.m. Yes, go ahead.
So let's say if I'm doing it at 9, but I set up to send, let's say if I put it at 9 p.m. today and I set it up to send tomorrow, does it, do you actually know what time it would be sent?
It'll be sent in whatever time you choose it to send.
No, because it only shows the day, it doesn't show what time.
So it will send in the morning.
Okay.
I think it sends about sometimes it can send as early as 6:30 in the morning. I've seen. So I would say before 6 p.m. so that you can start them on that smart plan starts today, right? Because if I speak to someone today, I want them to get something from me today, not tomorrow, right? By tomorrow or by later on in the day, they could already speak to someone. right? But I want them to know that I'm there. I already reached out to them. I sent them something that's of value to them, and I got them started on this smart plan, right? Whether it's a neighborhood nurture, whatever it is, they receive something from me the same day they spoke to me. That's the goal of that 6 p.m. 6 p.m. goal, right? And tagging and segmenting each lead. You notice that's a running theme in this, right? Tagging and segmenting, because that's a big thing of your system, to know who your clients are, who you're following up with. Because if I don't tag someone, I don't know who they are, right? They could be a seller, but I don't have a tag for them, and I don't remember if they're a buyer or a seller. I can't remember what they were, but I know they're a client of mine. I don't know which one, but segmenting them and tagging them will help you put them on the proper smart plans, because I can't put an absentee owner on the same smart plan as an expired or as a for sale by owner. They can't be on the same smart plans. It's not the same information. One person doesn't care what the other person cares about, right? It's not the same situation. So assign a smart plan or follow-up date. So smart plans and follow-up dates should definitely be held. So you should have a follow-up date for your phone calls, right? For your actual contact with them. Follow-up date for your when you're going to have meet up with them or do an appointment with them. Just because you meet with your client on a listing presentation, that's not the last time you should meet up with them. You're going to meet up with them a few times. You have to go there, look at the house, stage it, do photography, be there for inspections. You're going to be there a lot of times, right? So keep those dates consistent and have tasks for them that says, okay, today I have an inspection at this property. I have to go meet with this client at this time. You should have your days mapped out. Like I said, time blocking is also a big key. So make first contact within when? 24 hours. The first 24 hours. Don't wait, because the longer you wait, someone else is going to swoop in there and take your client. So you should be making contact with them within the first 24 hours, which is why 6 p.m. of them receiving something from you that same day gives them the reminder that they spoke to you in the first place. If I talk to someone right now, what time is it? It's about 10 o'clock, right? If I talk to someone right now, do you think they're going to remember talking to me at 5 o'clock? Like a random person. Like I just had a conversation with someone at ShopRite. You think that person's going to remember talking to me at 5 o'clock later on today? Then we had a small back and forth conversation. Even if I give them my business card, you think they're going to remember me unless I do something memorable, right? Most cases, no, they're not going to remember me. But if I send them an email later on that day that reminds them, oh yeah, I remember talking to him today. Oh, that's great. He did send me that information like he told me he was going to send me today. That's a lot better. It looks a lot better. You look like you're actually do this, right? You look more professional and you're able to touch that person right then and there, okay? And then track notes and next steps after every touch. So every time you send an email, a text message, a phone call, whatever it is, track your notes to say, okay, the next time I'm going to call them is going to be this date. They're going to receive an email from me tomorrow. They're going to get a text message from me maybe 2 or 3 days after that. I'm going to send them a market report. You should have all this mapped out, right? And it's not going to be the same for every client, but the system is the same. The flow is the same, right? Like that flow chart I showed you. It's the same for every client. You're going to qualify them. You're going to get their motivation. You're going to know their time frame. You know their timeline. You're going to know all that stuff. And then you're going to move them along and track their notes and steps. It's the same, but what you're sending them is the difference. How you're communicating with them is different, right? Your relationship with them is going to be different, right? So make sure that you're tracking your notes and your next steps after every touch. So KW Command is your command center for follow-up. Use smart plans to automate outreach and tags to segment your database. You can customize touch plans by timeline, lead source, or urgency to deliver consistent, relevant communication. Okay? They work. Okay? There are tons of agents who actually use them and are successful and don't have any issues with follow-up because it's automated. They literally don't do anything. They just put them on a smart plan and sit back and watch and wait for the phone to ring. That's how simple it is. And you all can do the exact same thing. Okay? So I want all of you to start to use this and really know that these aren't things that are just being used just for no reason, right? Everything has a purpose. Every tool that's there is for you to actually use and to help you in your business. Okay? So let's share some examples of where follow-up has worked for you. So I can share an example of where follow-up has worked for me. I had clients, here we'll unshare for a second so we can all see each other nice and neat. So I had clients, right? I sold their house maybe 2 years ago, right? And they were looking to buy right after, but they decided that, them selling their house a little bit stressful for them. They didn't want to go through it, do the process all over again. So they decided not to buy then. So I followed up with them little by little. They weren't ready to buy yet. So I just completely just didn't even respond to them. Like, I stopped communicating with them. Mainly because I forgot about them. Because like I said, keeping everything in your mind is not a good thing, right? So I completely forgot about these clients. So this is all through the fall, through the winter, never message them, nothing. Springtime comes and I got a reminder of the house that I had listed the year before that I had sold from my social media. And I'm like, oh, I wonder how they're doing. I call them and I'm like, hey, how you guys doing? Whatever, it's like that. Oh, we've actually been working with an agent who's been helping us look to buy a house. Oh, have you? Have you signed anything with that agent? No, we haven't signed anything. Okay, I'm going to send you a buyer's agency agreement. I'll help you from here on out. They signed with me and I helped them buy a house. But see, that was because I did such a good job the last time. See, right? And they remembered that and they were like, okay, but my follow-up wasn't consistent, but it was at the right time. Wasn't consistent, but it was at the right perfect moment that I needed to speak with them, right? So who else can share something else for a follow-up? And it doesn't have to be real estate. It could be just anything else where you followed up with something and it worked out for you and your benefit. Who else has a story or an example? Don't be shy.
I don't have follow up of me following up because my follow up game sucks, quite honestly. I really need to get better at that. Like, I have people who have come through open houses where they're like, they like me. They're like, okay, yes. They'll even put my name on the sheet. Like, you're our realtor. And my ass ain't follow up with them. You know what I'm saying? But I'm learning from people who follow up with me consistently and got my business. And I'm like, damn, that works. I need to be doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Case in point, Joe Del Vecchio, right there at our brokerage, when we met at one of the things that we had there,
Mm-hmm.
we had a conversation about being investors and whatnot. And we exchanged our cards, and he called me the very next day, and I hooked him up with setting up a HELOC for someone I know. Like, just because he called me on Monday, I was like, "Oh, hi, how you
Right.
doing?" So I've had multiple instances in the near future of people following up with me, and I was impressed by that, and that has been telling me that that works, and I need to do it more. So thank you for this whole thing because I definitely need it. I have not been doing it, and this is key. It really is
Mm-hmm.
key.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anyone else with a quick example? Or someone you've seen do follow up and you were like, wow, that was impressive.
Lawrence,
Mm-hmm.
I think that if I put my case as an example, I think that we've been extremely proactive when it comes down to attending open houses or doing what we have to do. I think that what it makes it a little bit more dragging for everybody, at least for me, is the fact that we get this sheet of the person that went to an open house or the person that you spoke to in the corner, the one that you give them the card, the one that you just text and say, it's a pleasure meeting you. It becomes the sitting on a desk in the nitty gritty and start punching that information into command. And I think that most of us probably will feel that that is the issue, not necessarily creating the smart plan or just going through that process, that it is the easiest part of the process. I think that the most difficult part is just the commitment of just going into the computer and transferring that information from the phone or from that conversation into typing keys and putting that information in command.
Mhm. I agree. I would definitely agree with that. It is a bit daunting at times when you are sitting in front of a computer, you feel like you're spinning your wheels, spending a lot of time adding people into command. But if you do it on a consistent basis and you add people, let's say you're only adding 4 to 5 people a day, that's enough, right? But if you're sitting there and you're adding 20, 30, 40, 50 people at a time, you're not going to enjoy it. It's not going to be something that you like doing. You're going to dread it more than anything, which is what most people do because we're not using it consistently enough that, we're just adding people as we go. We're kind of just bulk at it, right? So I'll do a whole week of lead generation. Today's Friday. Let me add all my contacts into command, right? And then you're spending your whole day because time flies when you're sitting in front of a computer. Before you know it, the day is gone and you didn't accomplish a single thing. You didn't get a new lead. You don't have a contract signed. You don't have anything going on. So, which is why it's important to do it daily and create time blocks for you to do it consistently every single day at a certain time. So I always save my time to do this till about 5 o'clock. I won't do this in the morning because I don't want to start my day boring. It's boring. It's boring. Nobody wants to start their day off doing something so tedious. I want to start my day off with fire ready to go. I want to call someone when the first thing I do when I wake up. I want to speak to my clients. I want to do something real estate real related, right? All the other back office stuff can wait until later, until I'm finished doing all my exciting stuff, right? Then when I have my downtime, I'm sitting back, I finally got some time to chill. I'm going to go ahead and add my contacts into command, put them on my smart plans, even create some designs for a new smart plan I'm creating. But you have to do it daily. It's not something that can be done all at one time. Don't try. Don't try to do this all at one time. Don't try to add contacts, create a smart plan, create your designs, do all this stuff. No, when you have downtime, go on command and create a design. It literally doesn't take long at all. It's very quick, right? When you have downtime, go add that design to that smart plan. Save and close it. Don't finish it. Just save and close it. Just start it. And every time you have time, go back, create a design, add it to your smart plan. You don't have to sit there and create a whole smart plan in one day. It's going to take time to set up your systems. I feel like in real estate, a lot of us are, we do rush, right? We are in a rush to get everything done, but some things you can't rush. Some things take a lot of time to set up. Okay. If I showed you my amount of smart plans I have that I sat and actually did, you think I'm nuts. But it took me time to do that. I didn't sit there and do it all in one day. I wouldn't even be doing real estate right now if I sat there and did all that in one day. It's insane. I have like 150 designs in my command. I didn't do all that in one day. I can tell you that. Right? So doing it daily, creating a daily habit for going into command, creating a design, adding it to your smart plan, adding your contacts is a lot more easier than it is to just sit there and try to do everything at one time. So time block your time for those specific tasks, which is why it's important. Jen, I see your eyes got big, which means you have not been sticking to your time block schedule.
Mm-mm.
I know. And we will talk. So sticking to that and creating that time block schedule, that's why it's important to have one so that you know, okay, from this time to this time, I'm doing this. From this time to this time, I'm doing this. And you don't feel like, and you have you have an end time. Now, if I sit here and I start doing command smart plans and contacts and all that stuff, I could sit here all day and do that because I don't have an end time for me to stop doing it. I can just sit here and do it until 12 o'clock at night. There's no end time for me. But if I say to myself, all right, it's 10:23, I'm gonna do this until 11:23. 11:23 rolls around, I know to stop. Wherever I am, I'm gonna save and close. And I'll come back to it tomorrow at 10:23. And I'll do it again and continue where I am. But you have to have something so that you can start building consistency. Say the word with me. Consistency.
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 Thank you. That is the key to all of this. It is the only key. Consistency. You have to be consistent every day, all night. Consistency. All day, every day. Live and breathe to be consistent. That is your new thing. That is your new drive. That is your new goal. Your goal, right? Your goal is to be consistent, right? That's the goal. Yes, you have lead goals, you have financial goals, right? You have success goals, but your mindset goal is to be consistent. Show up every day. That's it. That's all you got to do. Show up every single day and only focus on being 1% better every day. That's it. If you're 1% better than you were yesterday, are you better today than you were yesterday? Absolutely. Right? So that's your only focus. That's your only goal. That's all you have to do with this. Does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns?
I want to say thank you for being our cheerleader.
You're welcome.
I need it desperately, okay?
You are very welcome. I am here to
Thank you for consistently being the get out there and do it.
Right.
The rah-rah guy.
You are all very, very welcome. And like I said, if you need help with your smart plans, with your time blocking, with your anything, schedule a one-on-one with me and we will get to work on it. Jen, we need some, we got to do some work. We got to get together.
Do. I'm here
Laurel's
for
already here in the office. I'm probably going to sit and talk to her for a few. Me and Odile actually met Wednesday, which was a really good session. Natisha, I haven't spoken to you in a while. Would love to hear from you, see how everything's going. Alfredo's capped. We don't need, we don't need Alfredo's,
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Ruby, always good to hear from you. Kim Marks joining us. Nice. Kim is always great and always been a great coach to me as well. So she's another pinnacle.
You are killing it. I love it. Thank you.
Thank you,
Awesome.
Lawrence.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So feel free to reach out to me if you need me. I'm here Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 1. And have a great day and have a great weekend. And let's build some consistency.
Yeah, and don't forget to follow up with Lawrence.
There it is. I like that.
Yep.
Don't forget to follow up.
Yeah.
Right. Have a great weekend, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
Bye, guys.
Lawrence.
Have a
Thank
good
you,
weekend.
Lawrence.
Bye.